see you looking well.
Welcome back.
Might want this.
You think you're hot? Try wearing security armor.
What? I look like the welcoming committee or something? Get out of my face.
What'll it be? Hey, look who's alive. You bring me my liquor? Well, this should keep me one step ahead of the suits for at least a little while longer. Thanks. Here, you earned this. Now, you ever need to blow away some memories, you come back and see me. Understand?
Need something? I do, actually. Here you go.
One of those corporate drones?
I hate it when the walkways creak.
been gone forever.
I know now isn't the best time, but I need to talk with you later.
You look well.
You know, traveling with you has been more than just good old-fashioned fun. It's been, well, therapeutic. Well, I buried my pain about Irvin for so long that I needed a nudge and a different perspective. I know. It didn't seem like it, right? Well, I was hiding it. Hiding it from everyone, including myself. I can see now how much it was affecting me. I know now that clearing Irvin's name would set me free from the grief. Well, just ask. Anyway, thanks for the support, Captain. That's just a fact. Which brings me back to that plan I mentioned earlier. I think I know how to move forward now. But I'm going to need your help. My contact sent a gift. Yep, my friend from Neon, who has helped me out more times than I deserve. Nope. They were confident about not being detected, but not like too confident. Seems real to me. So they found an insurance settlement. Irvin's employers got paid as compensation for sabotage. Well, they claimed they had to ditch the whole mine and all the equipment inside and construct a new mine with new equipment. They were reimbursed for all of it. It seems that the mining company got a huge payout after they won the case against Irvin. We have the settlement paperwork from their insurance. Tons of money. Oh, also the cyber runner had to move on to other work, but sent me a passcode to some computer system. I'm not sure what it goes to yet. We can just hold on to it until we figure it out. But anyway, we have enough to move forward. The missing piece here is proving that Irvin was framed. So I discovered that Irvin's original lawyer still practices law, and she'll look over everything we found. Yes, I believe so. Every case she's worked on has been in the interest of regular, everyday people. She doesn't seem to be in this for the money. I mean, heck, she said she wouldn't even charge us for the initial consultation anyway. Irvin's case was her first case, she said. She always hated how it ended. And she's now got 2 decades of experience behind her for a rematch, too. Oh, detective. I like the sound of that. If I'm the detective, does that make you my trustworthy and sensible partner with a heart of gold? Well, I can work with that. Detective Barrett at your service. Anyway, we should take everything to the lawyer and see what she says. Maybe she reviews it and decides we have no case, or we need more evidence. I don't know. If we don't have a case, I can probably let it go. But I have to try. Yes, I've already arranged for my contact to drop off the evidence at our office. Oh, yep. I've got a keycard for it. But I don't know what condition it's in. It's been 20 years, but I got the ventilation and power turned on, so I think it's safe. Fantastic. I knew I could count on you. You're as reliable as an atomic clock. I've sent a list of everything we found so far to the lawyer on Gagarin. You know, I actually feel optimistic about this. Lead the way, Detective. I know now isn't the best time, but I need to talk with you later.
Hey, how's it going?
Civilian transport to unknown vessel. Please acknowledge.
This is the biological frontier. Our suits allow us to venture into hostile territory. But imagine all of the places where even a suit isn't enough. One day, the nicer the operation is, the meaner security is. It's an inverse relationship. Campfires, warm. Yeah. a use for that stuff.
Are you here for me? Well, don't just stand there. Help me. Thank God. Ugh. You know, honestly didn't expect UC security to get here so... Wait, you're not with security? Who are you? Well, I can help on all accounts. Maldonado, the man responsible for killing the courier, stealing my ship, and dragging me here, he's got the data. He's looking to auction off our research and frame me for the theft. But that son of a bitch crossed the wrong man. What do you say we go get Reliance property back? You don't need to worry about me. We'll both be safer with someone watching our backs. Now, no more arguing. Let's go. Maldonado's quarters are towards the rear of the facility. Don't worry, though. I'm sure you know. For Ecliptic's finest. No Ecliptic A-team would have missed a pistol on their only captive, for example. And I took several firearms courses before my transfer to Gagarin. This should be child's play.
Statistically speaking, we were due for some tangible rewards.
What's the meaning of all this? I am not to be... Bonifant. So, Reliance sends along a merc of their own, then.
Shut it! Hand over the data, or I'll promise you'll regret it.
Well, look at that fire. Junior executive, no more. The answer is no, Mr. Maximoff. This data's worth a lot of money to my potential buyers. Of course, It doesn't have to be just me that benefits. Now, if Reliant sent you, then you've had the pleasure of meeting Ms. Strickland. Lovely woman, don't you think? Well, I just want to let you know that you're playing for the wrong side here. Helena Strickland is a credit-pinching hag who won't pay you a fraction of what this data is actually worth in the right hands. I, however, understand the importance of appropriate compensation. I will pay you handsomely right now to turn around, get back in your ship, and inform Helena that our Bonavent here betrayed her. That he killed the courier, stole Reliant's precious data, but was then tragically killed during the handoff with Ecliptic. I'll even handle the killing part myself. What do you say?
Quiet! It's not going to work! It's not, right?
Sit tight, Bonafont.
Well, I can't say I didn't try. But, I've got an auction to plan, so I guess I'll just have to get rid of you myself. Ta-ta.
Last bad decision you're ever making. Now,
You aren't using it anymore, so why not?
he's back in Gagarin. Data's intact? Thank God. I'll take my own shit back to Gagarin. I'm sure Helena will be, well, she'll be happy to see you.
You can always sell it if you don't need it.
You're back. Without Mr. Maximoff. Is he all right? You didn't have to deal with him. Did you? Maldonado. I know that name. He's a renowned data broker. Black market. I'll have to let corporate know about his involvement. And that you managed to stop him. This was good work. Excellent work. Speaking of which, would you be so kind as to hand over the data? And here you are. I included a little extra for all the added trouble you no doubt faced. You have Reliance and my gratitude.
I was just thinking that this is about what Irvin saw all those years ago when he arrived. He probably stood here thinking that he was going to make things better. He had a good heart. We need to reopen the case. See if there's anything that was overlooked the first time. We've done some legwork remotely, but we need to do some good old-fashioned investigating now. Hopefully it will be enough to clear Irvin's name. Oh, you remind me of him sometimes, wanting to make things right. And when you said it out loud, you know, I actually believe we can do it. I just hope our lawyer is as confident. Yes, but listen, nobody will stand up against the mining corporations around here. They're scared. She didn't want to lose the case, but she didn't have a lot to go on. Thanks to us, now she does. I sent that to our lawyer already. I asked her to confidentially review what we found. Ellie Yankton. She worked on Irvin's previous case. Ellie is one of the few lawyers on this planet who's willing to take on the mining corporations in court. Right. She said she would meet us at our office when we arrive. Hopefully she can tell us what we need to do in order to clear Irvin's name. Let's stick together, though. Gagarin isn't a huge town, but it's not the kind of town that I want to get lost in.
I've heard you've been making the settled system safer. It's not much.
Half the city was shut down the other day for a corporate investment.
This is Ellie's law office. Perfect. She said she would be expecting us.
Well, well, well. Barrett, you're actually here. Astounding.
Ellie! Ellie, come on. I promised we'd stop by, didn't I?
People make promises all the time, Barrett. And most folks try to avoid Gagarin, not visit it. Anyway, I'm glad you made it out here. We have work to do, don't we? Not exactly, but similar cases. A corporation commits a crime and needs a scapegoat, so they select someone powerless to target.
The quintessential Gagarin tale.
Indeed. Yes. It was my first case as a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer.
Well, starting your career with a defeat is rough, Ellie.
It was. But in a way, it made me more determined. It's not a resort. It's a working town run by mining corporations. You don't come here unless you need to, and you don't stay unless you have to.
Or unless you're a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer who genuinely wants to make things better for others. Right, Ellie?
You're kind, Barrett. Yes, I suppose there's that type of person as well. Down to business. Perfect. What do you already know?
So we already know that Irvin worked for Hephaestus Mining Company years ago, and they blamed him for catastrophic economic and ecological issues here on Gagarin.
Yes. He lost his case because he didn't defend himself, and we had almost no evidence without him. He was publicly blamed for the economic woes, and his accounts were seized in compensation.
His account on Gagarin specifically. It was just the amount he was paid years ago for the job.
Right. They would have taken his assets in other settlements, but by law, his death prevented it.
I recall receiving a message asking him to appear in court a day after his funeral.
An unfortunate reality of interplanetary legal communiques, I'm afraid. Well, we can bring the case to a judge here if we have new evidence or a witness.
What about the evidence we found so far?
Yes, well, about that. It's just not enough. Best case scenario, we clear his name and his assets are returned, plus additional compensation. Not on its own, no. It's circumstantial. Helpful to support our claim, but not enough. In order for me to go before a judge, I'd like to have some solid evidence pertaining to motive. The courts won't entertain a challenge to its ruling unless we're sure that something major was missed in the original trial.
What was the motive from the original trial?
We had no solid motive after our witness withdrew his testimony. Yeah, we need something major. Documentation, recordings, a witness, something.
It's been so long. How could we find anything like that?
I've thought about this a lot since the original case. The mine that Irvin worked at was shuttered in 2309. They probably still have documents relating to whatever happened there with him. Not necessarily. To Hephaestus, it might be cheaper to run away and let the dust bury it all.
Not really. All I know is that it's a Hephaestus mine from 20 years ago, somewhere on Gagarin.
I don't have a couple decades to wait for you to search them all, so we'll need to narrow it down. That's where you come in. I don't know which mine he worked at when the incident took place. In theory, you could find that information on a Foundry terminal, if you can access it. You'll need a passcode. That's the hard part. Besides the Foundry records, there also might be something in Irvin's apartment. If he knew he was being framed, he might have held on to some documents there.
Dear Diary, today we created an ecological disaster and then blamed it on an off-worlder. Love have faced us.
Funny. But you'd be surprised how often people write down things that get them into serious trouble.
Oh, do tell.
For comparison, I just finished a case against another company that was charged with illegally dumping waste near the town's water supply. Their permits specified a site that would have cost twice as much fuel, so they sent a memo to the driver to dump it at the first available location just outside of town.
They actually wrote that down. Classic. Even the confidential records and salvageable equipment? Seems wasteful.
It was probably cheaper than transporting older machines around the planet.
Makes sense. Not many people wander around outside of the city looking for abandoned mines.
Why lock your door when you're the only person on the planet, right? Anyway, try to log into the Foundry system or convince someone to find Irvin's mine for you.
Sounds like an awkward conversation. Fortunately, the captain is rather good at those.
Hopefully, that's enough to work with for now. If you'll excuse me, I have to get some court documents ready for this case.
The Foundry District isn't too far from here. Should still have the key to Irvin's apartment. I hope it's worth our time, but I can't be sure.
I know a guy who's just got a job at the Centauri Mills plant.
You can log in with your Argos extractor account.
You're not on my calendar. Is this Arcmite related? I'm on the guard.
Well, this is it. Irvin's old apartment. Here, use this key. After you, Captain. Now I get why he wanted me to look after his plants. No windows, insufficient power for proper lamps. Oh, he must have been miserable. No wonder he wrote so much. Wait a sec. What about this safe? I bet it's locked by a terminal. Well, I'll be. If you ever doubted Irvin's genius, look at all this. Still chugging along 20 years later. Hold on. Is that what I think it is? I admire your knowledge of how these systems work. Will you look at that? If we go to Town Hall, I bet we can get a copy of that hunting license. There's gotta be a way to look up applications. Is that Irvin's employment contract? Let me see. No idea where mine H363 is, but we could search for it at the Foundry database. All right, we've got some solid leads, it looks like. The employment contract and the hunting license at Town Hall. Much better than liquid or gas leads. That much is evident. It was a bit strange going through Irvin's old things, though. I was hoping for some old pictures, but nothing. What's that you have there? A plant? No, but I did find a few slates that might give us a clue. As well as a reminder to finish a physics paper that I never did. Yes, and it was always a remarkable species with an even more remarkable story. I wonder if the same is true for this guy. Evolved or altered, Irvin used to experiment a lot with extremophile plant life. Maybe he made the perfect plant buddy for his windowless apartment. In any event, I'll go through Irvin's notes in more detail later. There's probably a flowchart somewhere with this little guy's name on it. Oh, on that note, we should give it a name. I'm thinking something simple yet refined. What do you think of Harvey? Then it's unanimous. Okay, the three of us should get back to it. You, me, and Harvey have a case to solve.
I was thinking about going for a hike outside the canyon.
You one of those corporate drones? Gagarin doesn't want you.
License was sponsored by Hephaestus after all. Ellie will be very interested to see this.
Are you selling something or what? Not buying, though. So...
Coordinates look valid to me. Imagine Irvin thinking the same thing all those years ago. Just a job, right? Well, at least we know where to keep looking, right? I guess we'll see what state the mine is in. It's possible they collapsed it before they left. Just won't know until we get there. If that's the case, we'll just have to figure something out. Careful. This place was shuttered 20 years. Sorry, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I know how this ends. Things clear. Well, back to business. Bingo. All right. Now let's go find Irvin and Helge's lab stations. That was fast. It was the destruction of the bacterial colonies, not the apex predators. So, they ruined the ecosystem here, and it had nothing to do with Irvin. This is it. This is what helped the system. Lights are on down here at least. you found so far is compelling.
This rebel
Seems like Helgi tried to do the right thing here. I'm sure Ellie would want to see this. He's citing numerous ethics violations dating back before Earth's time, and Hephaestus just ignored him.